guys. This is Julie with the Calhoun County Young Democrats, and tonight we have Phillip Ensler running for Lieutenant Governor. Phillip, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great. It's good to be here and appreciate you having me. I love this podcast and love what you're doing.
No, yeah, we're super excited to have you here. Someone running for Lieutenant Governor, that is a lot bigger than our little Calhoun County Democrat society that we usually deal with. So super excited to have you here.
Listen, you all are incredibly important, and this is an amazing office, so I'm really proud and grateful to be here.
Thank you. So we'll just go ahead and get right into it. What do you believe the Lieutenant Governor's most important responsibilities are, and how would you use that position to benefit the state?
So the Lieutenant Governor is the president of the state Senate, and the Lieutenant Governor cannot introduce legislation, him or herself, but they can work very closely with the legislature to advocate for policies. So I would use the role to work with senators and House members that I already have relationships with to advocate for things like Medicaid expansion, for a higher minimum wage, for expanding telemental health services, for pay raises for educators and benefits for retirees. So there's a lot that I can do to really use the office to bring people together to get the votes needed to pass important legislation.
Right. And like you said, you already know a lot of the people that you would be dealing with. So that would be a huge advantage moving forward.
Yeah, and I've been in the legislature 4 years now as a House member and have worked really hard to develop strong bonds across party lines, and there are lots of things with Republicans that I disagree on, and we have had some pretty intense fights, but in a way that there's still a mutual respect, and in a way that day one I can get in there and work with them on things where we agree.
Yeah, and especially here in Alabama, that's so important to find a way to work together, because the disagreements are going to be really big disagreements. So, all right. So all of your policies seem to be pretty in step with most of the Democratic Party and the change ticket as a whole. What are some of your lesser known viewpoints that you wish more people knew about?
Yeah, and I appreciate you asking that. And I did not always feel this way, but in more recent years have come to believe that there should be term limits, both on the federal level and the state level. And there are many members that have served for a long time. They have a tremendous amount of wisdom and knowledge. There are some that are still very effective, but there are others that it's time to pass the baton. And there are too many that get into office and are just there year after year after year and lose a little bit or a lot of the touch. So I think that having term limits and in the campaign day to day, that doesn't come up a ton, but I've heard from people, certainly younger people, that is something that has become a big issue. And that's something that I think is important that we have.
I definitely think you have most young Democrats agree with you on that position. So you have accomplished a great deal throughout your career. You've been a White House intern under the Obama administration, high school teacher, a mentor, graduated law school, and 4 years ago, you were the first Democrat to flip a House seat since 2010. In what ways have all these experiences shaped the way you approach public service?
Yeah, so throughout all of that, from being an intern to teaching to a lawyer to the legislature, it's always been about people and about delivering solutions and listening to them and serving others. And I share this a lot, that as an intern under the Obama administration, it really showed me what politics can and should be.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter who came into the West Wing. It could be a foreign head of state or a janitor, and everyone was treated with the same level of kindness and respect, the complete opposite of the ugliness and meanness that we see today. And I was 21 years old, and
that
then
had to be so exciting.
it was very exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I every day I pinched myself and just could not believe that I was walking into the White House and the West Wing. And just to see, though, how the president and others treated everyone, that has carried through everything I've done ever since.
That's a really, really great answer, because of all the role models to look up to, probably one of the best people to actually see in person how they act and what their character is, and to be able to judge that for yourself is really an exceptional kind of thing. A lot of people don't have that. So
yeah, I said, I still pinch myself, and it feels surreal, and really grateful to have had that opportunity.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Phillip, you're a millennial.
I am a millennial.
So as one young Democrat
Yeah.
to another, how do we get more folks involved in politics?
So a big part of it is meeting people where they are. And yes, there are some young people that are going to come to county party meetings. There are some young people that are going to show up at political conventions. But a lot of young people that are going to sporting events or they're going to concerts. So we have to meet them at the places where they are.
Absolutely.
And not shame people into voting. And of course, we have to honor the history and sacrifices and honor those that put so much into protecting and fighting and protecting civil rights and voting rights. But I have found with younger people, it's not enough just to tell them about the history and then hope that's enough. We have to talk about the things that actually matter to them and are affecting their day-to-day lives. And the biggest thing is putting more money in their pockets. I mean, so many young people that are busting their butts, working really hard, yet can't afford rent, they can't afford to buy a house. It's hard to get a new car, and they're stuck with a car that's not working as well. And when we talk about the issues that are front and center for them and connect it to saying, well, someone in state office can try to advocate for a higher minimum wage, or they can advocate for college scholarships that are going to help you with your tuition and things that directly impact them. And more immediately, I have found that talking about those issues is a way to reach them and bring them in even more.
Absolutely. And really having to kind of go to them at some points, I think it's also a really big deal, because a lot of young people don't necessarily have the time or the resources to come out to these monthly meetings and to go and be involved. So going to them, I think, is also very important.
Yeah, and I would add in that reaching them through methods that work for them. So social media, TikTok, Instagram, but also in the day and age we're in, where so many of our younger voters were in high school during the pandemic that got used to a lot of virtual things. That yes, in-person meetings are super important. There's a lot of value in the face-to-face, but also being flexible and having hybrid meetings or having Zoom meetings at times where young people can hop on from their comfort zone and where they are.
Yeah. So, all right. So, last question. It is not easy being a Democrat in Alabama. Looking beyond the challenges we face, what have you seen during this campaign that's given you the most hope?
Yeah, I really appreciate that question. And it is not easy being a Democrat in Alabama. And we have to stick together. The thing that's been most inspiring has been I've been to 42 counties now.
Oh, wow.
And no matter what county I go to, there are Democrats that are organizing, that are doing everything that they can, and knowing that even though it is tempting and would be easy to just stay home, that Democrats and people that have been doing it for years continue to show up, and that's incredibly inspirational. But the thing that really keeps me going the most is talking to veterans of the civil rights movement and those who were there in Selma in 1965, those who in Montgomery were there during the bus boycott in 1955. I mean, to hear them say, and they're fired up and say, we're not going back, we need to keep fighting, we need to get out and vote. And they're often more energized than even young people. So that really gives me hope. And even during those hard days, talking to them, especially in Montgomery, but all throughout the state, there are those veterans of the civil rights movement, and hearing their stories is really moving.
Yeah, because they've been through it before. They, probably when they were younger, never imagined a time that they would be able to have the same rights that we all have, and in their lifetime to be able to experience that firsthand would be really exciting to get that momentum going again.
Yeah, and they see the efforts at the State House to redistrict and dilute Black representation and make it harder to vote, and they said they don't know any other way to do it other than to keep getting up and fighting and marching and advocating, and that's what we need to do. That's all you can do, is just keep trying, so not give up. So, well, Phillip, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Is there a website or anywhere that people can find more information about you? Absolutely. So phillipensler.com, Phillip with 2 L's, and then it's Ensler. And then I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and people can find me on any of those and reach out in whatever ways work for them. All right, awesome. Well, guys, if you're interested in any of our other videos, check out our channel. If you'd like to learn more about the Calhoun County Young Democrats, click on the link below. And remember, you are not alone.